Hey everybody, hope you're well. Louis here. I'm here to take you guys through a full Bybit scan. Just looking for cradle trades. G'day Winston, how are you mate? Hope you're well. And yeah, just have a look at the overall market conditions. Hey Ray, hope you're doing well. See you in the seminar last night. It was good to see you there. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all well. That's right. Recording from Craig's office today, as I am down from my office. Doing an office switch. Hey, Andres. Hope you're well. So in this scan, we're just looking at cradle trades because that's the course that we've covered in the 4-week seminar, and we'll have an overall look at the market and just have a look at how price is reacting to the cradle zone, and you know what we can kind of deduce from that, what we can't, but we will have a poke around for this evening session. So in the spirit of starting, let's start with Bitcoin. I don't think we haven't done a scan since this big sell-off over the weekend. Now, this weekly trend technically is not broken, but I'm not really interested in the weekly. I'm looking here on the 2-weekly. What can the cradle zone tell us? So I'm just going to enlarge that. And we have this really nice pullback into the cradle here on the 2-weekly chart. And we do still have trend in the monthly, I think. Yeah, so something to keep an eye on. Doesn't really tell us much. Still a week. Still a while for this candle to close. But we'll see as we go through the top 10. A lot of the weekly uptrends are still intact, and the cradle zone helps us identify that. Okay, so we'll just have a look. We'll just have a poke around here in Bitcoin. So it is the largest market cap coin, and the market seems to be moving in whatever direction Bitcoin moves. And with this evening scan, I'm going to have particular emphasis. Hey Andres, how you going? Yeah, office upgrade, Nathan. On some of the lower time frames as well, and see if we can find any cyclicity on the lower time frames and any cradles there. But look, for now, nothing there on Bitcoin, except for that 2-weekly chart, which is a pretty nice trend and price is pulling into the cradle zone. Now, of course, we are not, in terms of the upside, we are definitely not out of the woods yet. You know, we really need to see price push on well above these levels around here to see some really consistent buying in. But you know, we could get an uptrend forming here. But in saying that, obviously we have a beautiful flat level here of 53,000, which I will draw in for you. We are not biased to going long. We can go long or short, and if we have a short cradle trade into this level of 53,000 G, that would be pretty hard to pass up. I'll tell you that much for free. But for right now, there is not much there on Bitcoin. Same on ETH. I can tell you right away, this is this jaggedy price action here in the daily, which I'm not even going to start to attempt to analyze or trade, and there's no cyclicity on these lower time frames, so nothing there for cradle trades there. ETH held up pretty well over that liquidation, which is good to see. The weekly uptrend is intact there on Ethereum. XRP really sold off a lot like Bitcoin, and again, this cradle zone, if we see price pull up here on the daily, we might have some short options, but nothing yet. We need that cyclicity to come back in. And nothing really there on the 15 or the 30. ADA, same thing. We'll have a look here on the 15 and the 30. Not much there. And the 4 hour, nothing much there either. Again, a pull up into the cradle zone, into these levels here, will get me interested, but I'm not holding out for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the weekly trend on ADA is pretty shot. There is not much there. We just had a big fall straight down. There's no cyclicity. There's no lower highs and lower lows. Sol weekly probably looks all right on that. Let's see what the cradle zone can tell us there. Yeah, somewhat quite messy here. It's hard to tell with some of the data missing. I'm not sure if we can call this an uptrend. The price is pulling into the cradle zone there on Sol on the weekly. Again, here on Binance, a largish bullish candle there in the cradle zone. So as we can see, a lot of these weekly uptrends are actually still intact. Let's just poke around here on Sol before I move on. So we see some cyclicity coming through here on Sol. What color should we use for our watch list tonight? Ooh, orange. Let's use orange. Why not? Okay. So we'll pop that in because there is definitely some cyclicity there. BNB, nothing there for us. Just floundering around there. Litecoin, again, open for shorts, but we need to pull back into this cradle zone. I can tell you right now on these higher time frames, there's nothing there. Have a poke around on the lowers. Not really. Okay, remember we're only looking for cradle trades here because it's a buy-bit scan. Okay, dot. I've got this level in here, but it's on the lower time frames. There's a bit of support through that. There was a bullish candle there, but it looks pretty big. Yes, but the 4's not uptrending, so I'm going to leave that. Let's take that level out. Okay, AVAX. A bit of a bounce here in AVAX. What I'm hoping for is when I go through the scan today, the Bybit scan, hoping to see some... what I'm hoping and what happens and what the market does, the market can do whatever it wants to do. So it actually doesn't matter what I hope or what I want. The market will do whatever it wants to do. It's impossible to 100% predict. But what I'm hoping is that maybe there's been a little bit of buying coming through and we can see it across the board and see that consistency coming back to the market. AVAX, look, it's starting to trend here on the 30, but the 4 is not an uptrend, so I'm not really interested there. TRX. Let's just see how much of this weekly uptrend's been shaded here. Look at this. This is just a bang, bang, bang up, then not much there on TRX. In other words, flat here on the 4. Not really a high low there. Okay. Now, let's hit this Bybit list. All right, Bit USDT. Let's have a look. Let's have a poke around. Some cyclicity returning here on the 15, but we do not have an uptrend on the 4. Let's have a look at the 12. Let's have... looking for pullbacks, looking for flat levels. We have somewhat of a level through here, but again, by the time that trade sets up, even if you were in the Northern Hemisphere, it would just take a very long time to set up. Sol USD, we've already looked at. XRP, we've already looked at. ADA USD, we've already looked at. BNB, we have already looked at. Litecoin, is this going back to the top 10? No. Okay, Shiba. Okay, let's have a look here. We have a candle in the cradle zone, right, on the 16, but it's not. There's no trend. It's sticky. It's not clear. It's not concise. Can easily let that pass up. Next, XRP. Dot. I think we just had a look at Dot earlier. No trend on the 4, but it is starting to cycle on the 5th. We had price pulling into this old level here of like $28.43. So, but nothing there because there's no trend on the 4. So if there's no trend on the 4, I don't want to be trading these lower time frames. I want to be trading with the 4-hour time frame if I'm going to trade the 15 or the 30. Now, that might not be in your rules. If that's not in your rules, put that into your list. That's just one of my trading rules because it is. Okay. Link very similar, very choppy through here. Remember, we want that nice clear cyclicity, and just because there's a candle in the cradle zone does not mean we take it. Doge. Again, no trend on the 4, so I'm not really interested in those lower time frames. Sand, same thing. A sell-off here. Let's have a look at the weekly to see what the cradle zone can tell us. Now, there is a bit of a lack of data there, but if you can imagine our 2 moving averages here on the weekly, price is somewhat pulling back into there. Not much there on sand. Okay, FTM. Again, I'm just going to put this level in here so we can look at it at the end. Now, if price pulled back into that level 18495, you know, I wouldn't know about it. That could be a really nice short off that level. What color do we pick? Orange? Yeah. Orange. Naranja. Okay. Look at the 12. Look at the 16. There's not much. It's just very sticky here, guys, you know. And by the time price does pull up into this region, it will be 11 a.m. for the open tomorrow. So there's no point in putting that in the list yet. And then if we look at the 4 here, it's not trending. And if we go to the 15 and the 30, it's probably starting to cycle. Look at that. Look at the 30 here. It's starting to cycle, but barely. But we just don't have trend on that 4, so I don't want to be trading those lower time frames if there's no trend on the 4. And I've been really disciplined with my trading lately, so I'm not going to push it out. We're going to put FTM in for a pullback on the daily. AVAX we have already looked at. Mana. Tell you right now from that daily, there's not going to be any trades on lower time frames. Look at these big wicks, like bang, 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 bang. We don't really have a high low here on the 4. Let's just have a look on the 30 and the 15. I just have a feeling we might have a bit of cyclicity coming in there. Kind of, not really. Let's have a look at Mana on the weekly. Again, price kind of pulling back into that zone, but nothing there for us. Nothing there for us. Chills. Okay. Let's put a few levels in here. Chills has sold off a lot, quite a bit. And we may have some short opportunities here. So let's have a look-see. Let's have a look at the weekly here. So yes, the weekly is in a downtrend. The daily is sold off, gone through this level, and we really need these moving averages to either catch up, and for these moving averages to catch up, and price really pull back in. And again, we'll see cyclicity returning on these lower time frames, but I really don't want to trade the 15 or the 30 if there's no trend on the 4. So I'm just going to put that in the list. Just we can look at it at the end because I don't know. Maybe there will be some more contracts in the list today. Okay, LRC. Pulling back into that cradle zone there, although that MACD, there is not much data there. That MACD does look like it is divergent. And we don't really have trend there on the 4. See, I think we're going to see a lot of this in this scan, like just price starting to move to the upside, but it's not trending yet. So, you know, it's not confirming. It's not confirming to us what that price is definitely going in that direction. When price trends, we know it goes in that direction. So, again, here on OMG, we'll have a look at the 12, have a look at the 16. Not much there. Have a look at the 4. No. 8. Not really. And again, not trending on the 4, so I'm not interested on those lower time frames on the 15 and the 30. Okay, we'll have a look here. Matic. Now, Matic has bucked the trend, hasn't it? It really has. Just keeps on moving to the upside, which is pretty cool. Let's just see how much that has moved. Wow, 42%. Is that from those? Oh, I didn't even go from those lows. Let's just go from those lows from the weekend. I think that's it, right? 4th of December, 5th. Yeah, let's go from here and have a look. Yeah, like 60% or something like that. Wow, that's a big move back up. That is strong conviction. The spirit of that. Can we see prices kind of dipping in and out of the cradle zone here a bit? So I'm just going to put that in because, not just because there's a lot of buying coming in, but we can see some type of cyclicity come in here on the 15. And that 4-hour chart is actually only just going up, but I'm just going to put that in anyway. The 4-hour chart is not trending yet, but I think it's one to keep an eye on, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Something to keep an eye on. Daily, I can look at this daily straight away on Alco and tell you that there's not going to be anything there for us. Hubba. Somewhat of a level through there, but nothing. And just choppy sideways here on the 4, but nothing to write home about. XTZ. Okay. So we can see here, XTZ here on the daily, there's actually some nice cyclicity coming in here on the daily. In a way, but we can see how price is dipping in and out of that cradle zone. Like boom, here, a bit deeper here. I mean, what does that tell us? It's just, we can already identify that price is trending down somewhat. So those moving averages, again, they just help us identify that zone. It's not telling us anything. It's not telling us that we have to take a trade or anything. It's just indicating to us that price could be pulling into a zone of interest. That's all those moving averages are doing. Because the true indicator to us is this price action in front of our eyes. And there's nothing there for us, guys. Let's have a look. AXS. Okay. We do have a nice level coming through here. So we will have a look. If I could see price pull back in there on the daily, I would definitely be interested in a short cradle. We'd have the cradle zone moving into this old level, and if we have price pull back into here, fabulous. But until then, I'm not really that interested. VET. Let's have a look here. On the 12, on the 16. Again, we need price to pull back into here, and by the time it does that, it will be 11 o'clock. And I'm not still very sticky. Hear me say that a lot. You hear me say that a lot recently because that's been the state of the market. It's been quite sideways. TRX we've already looked at. IOX. Okay, we might have something here on the 8. I was hoping that the cyclicity moved down and we'd have more of a pullback into here, but there's just nothing there for us now. Yeah, we'll leave that, guys. EOS. Again, EOS is a very similar one. It's like a lot of these other contracts we've looked at. Now, we have a flat level here, and if price pulled back into that flat level on the daily, I would definitely be interested in a daily short if the rules were met on the 2-day and the 4-day, that is. But until then, We do have a small bearish candle here in the cradle zone. There's just something about that chart I don't like. Maybe it's a cyclicity, or maybe how it's pulled back here. But I'm just not really keen on it. It is there. I'll put it in the list and we can reassess it at the end. Okay, Ethereum Classic flat across the board. Bitcoin Cash flat across the board. I'm just going to open the list on the side here, guys, so we can actually see what we're going through. ICP flat on the daily, flat on the 4. Remember, I want that 4-hour trending if I'm going to take any cradles on the 15 or 30. That's my rule. Might not be your rule, which is fine. Luna. Okay, now Luna's another one which has really bucked the trend. Let's just admire these moves, because this is why we're in this market. So it dropped 28%. Oh no, that's in one day. So in one day, Luna went up by 58%. Can you imagine if you bought these lows here and the price took off? This is what we've been teaching the seminar as well. We can use these strategies not just for intraday trading, but we can use the cradle zone to identify areas or zones of possible buying and possible selling. It doesn't have to be for intraday trading. It can be for your portfolio management. I use the cradle zone all the time to manage my portfolio. Okay, Luna. Let's have a look on the 4. We have an uptrend here, a deep pullback, and it looks like price is trending, is starting to move up. And I don't mind the cyclicity coming in here on the 30. It is trending on the 30 and on the 15. I'd like to keep an eye on that. It's another one to keep an eye on to see if price starts cycling. Okay, AVE. Beautiful downtrend here on AVE on the daily. Like, just look at that. Lower high. Looks like lower low and lower high. Just a really good trend. Now let's have a poke around here on the 8, on the 12. Unfortunately, there's nothing here on these time frames. It's not trending on the 4, so unless there's some short side trades, not really. But there's nothing there for us, unfortunately. But that is a beautiful downtrend. And if look at that cradle, let's just admire that cradle there for a second. Prices pull back in, and let's pull this list down a bit. Prices pull back in, and we've seen into the cradle zone, and it's sold back off again. Very nice cradle trade there. But hindsight is 2020. Okay. 1. Not much there for us, guys. Still sideways, no trend. Remember, cyclicity. That's what we're looking for. It's not just price pulling into the cradle zone. Sushi, a beautiful downtrend here. Quite a way off its highs from, what is this? In June, I think. I mean, look, it was already trending down before that sell-off over the weekend, so it didn't really affect it much, really, on the chart. Andres, you can find the videos of the Bybit seminar on our YouTube channel. And if you click the link in the description, you can find the seminars through there as well. Yeah, all the live videos are re-uploaded. Okay, so Sushi USDT. We have a small bearish candle in the cradle zone there, but you see prices like come down and we've hit some type of level through here. Now, this is what we talked about zooming out. There's no defined level, not like through this area here. I'll just enlarge this chart. Not like through this area here, but we've seen prices obviously bounced off something down here. So not really that interested. Actually, guys, we'll just have a look at sushi again because we probably do have... damn, so we don't have a 4-hour downtrend. I was going to say there may be some options there on the lower time frames, but because that 4 hour is not trending with the daily, I'm not really interested in trading long on the 15 or the 30. Short, sorry. Okay, uni. Again, really nice downward pressure here on uni, but look, yeah, it's not trending on the 4, so I'm not really that interested. And the 12 and the 16, nothing much there. XLM. Oh, guys, also watch out for scammers in the comments as well. We will never ask for any crypto, or we will never ask for your addresses or anything like that. Okay, XLM. Let's have a look here on the 8, on the 12, on the 16. Again, we have price pulling into the cradle zone there, but it's just very jaggedy and messy. Okay, let's have a look on Atom. Bouncing off some levels there straight away. Oh, Atom? Yes, it is Atom. Bouncing off somewhat of a level through here. Straight away, I'm not interested. I don't want to be trading into any levels. We do have somewhat of a downtrend on the 4. We'll just have a poke around on the 15 and the 30 just to see if there are any cradle trades there. But they're cycling to the upside, so it's not... We want everything agreeing over time frames. We talked about that in the seminars. We want cyclicity over all time frames. That's what we're looking for. That's what raises our probabilities. Let's have a look here on the 16, the 12. Nothing really there on EOS. Okay. Again, we have price pulling into this cradle zone, guys, but there's nothing there for us right now. And we do have a level through there, so I don't want to be trading into that level, even if there was a trade. XEM, same thing. What I'm hopeful for is we need to see the market. If this buying is sustained, we need to see the market we need to see the market gain some conviction in whatever direction it's going. I mean, hopefully it is going to the upside. I want the market to go to the upside. It'd be great for my portfolio. But if it continues to the downside, it continues to the downside. But we just need conviction and follow through in either direction. And right now I'm getting the sense that it's a little bit undecided. So again, there's no uptrend there on the 4, so I'm not really interested in trading the 15 or the 30. Near, we do have a nice downtrend here on the 4. Now let's have a poke around on these highs. So near is a contract. It knows which direction it's going. It is going down according to this chart. Now, let's try and construct what we're looking at here. We've got a level through here. Now, maybe for you Northern Hemisphere traders, if these moving averages catch up, do we have a level running through there? Maybe somewhat. If these moving averages catch up and there's a small bearish candle off that level, maybe something I'm interested in. On the, what's that on the 12? That could be at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Okay, Alice. Let's have a look. I can tell you right now, remember we talked about zooming out? There's a level running through there. Now, let's bring that up on the 4. Yeah, so not interested in that, guys, because there is a level in the way. Okay. File. Again, no trend here on the 4. We have some nice sustained buying. Switch the charts over. Have a look at the 30, the 15, the 1, the 2. Nothing really there. Again, we want that trend, that downtrend on the 4 if we're going to trade the 15 or the 30. Let's have a look at wood. We had wood in from last week's scan, I think. Yeah. Take these out. Wood and FTT were in from last week's scan. Now, there was a bearish candle there. If that was a trade, it has already triggered. We have a nice downtrend on the 4. Okay, I'm going to put that in. Because we're downtrending on the 4. We're definitely downtrending on the daily. And you can see price kind of getting heavy here on the 15. So if that started cycling in and out of the cradle zone to the downside, I'd want to know about it 100%. FTT. Again, undecided here on the 4 hour. Yeah, if we're going to trade long, we need an uptrend. If we're going to trade short, we really need a downtrend, and we don't have any trend here on the 4 hour. So you're not interested. Now to engine. 8, 12, 16. So for engine, if I was going to trade short, again, I'd be looking for a pullback into $3. But that has not happened yet, so it's not going in the list. All right. Now let's have a look at the list and see what we have. I'm just going to enlarge the screen so we can just focus on it. Okay. So now Sol. Where do we have this in? Okay, we have price moving on the 4. I think because it started cycling on the 15 and the 30, didn't it? All right. I don't normally take trades if they're against the 4 hour trend, but if you do, this could be one for you. If price starts cycling on the 15 or on the 30, there could be a cradle trade there. We can see price just dipping in here. There we go. Nice cradle there off 100 and off round number $198. So that's one to certainly keep an eye on. Okay. FTM. Have a look on the daily. I've only got FTM in here just to show you a stunning example of what a cradle short might look like. Now imagine this level here on FTM and price pulling into this level after these moving averages have caught up. Like realistically, it's 2 days off, but that is a prime example of a cradle short trade there on FTM. If price pull back into that level, these moving averages caught up and price was trending on the 2 day, there would be a trade there. Chili's. Now, let's have a look here. Again, we just had this in for an example of a daily trade to the short side if it's set up. If price pulled into this level and these moving averages caught up and we had a bearish candle in the cradle zone, I would want to know about it. Again, this might take a few days' time. Matic. Conviction knows where it's going. 4 hour. Same thing. Let's have a look at the 30. Let's have a look at the 15. Now, I've kept this in for the same reason I've kept Sol in. Price is starting to cycle. We can see that bouncing ball effect coming in slowly. So for that reason, Matic is in. EOS. I think I put this in for another daily pullback. Yeah, or if price set up here on the 16. But we'll just have a look here on the daily. we're not really going to any levels there. Look, I'm going to keep that in for all you in the northern hemisphere. It's just a bit of a messy pullback though. I need to see how that sets up. If those moving averages came down, that bearish candle was in this region, I'd like to assess it. So for all you guys, all you traders in the northern hemisphere, that could be one to keep an eye on. And Luna. I'm just going to put this in because Soulmatic Luna, they're kind of the top 3 ones on my watch list tonight. Luna, we have the nice uptrends across the board, basically. So what I want to be monitoring are the lower time frames here, the 15 and the 30. We can kind of see some cyclicity coming through here, and prices. There's an old level running through here at 68.865, or maybe more like $69 roundabouts. But we can just see price starting to cycle with the cradle zone here. So you see that bouncing ball coming in. So that's why Luna's in. FTM we already looked at. Chills. We already looked at a pullback into the daily there on chills. EOS. Nice selling pressure coming through here. I was going to have that in for the 12, but that there's no level in the way for the daily. So if that does set up on the 12, maybe I just can't put it in. That the reason is this pullback is not really that clean, so it's not good enough. Near. Okay, really nice downtrend on the daily. Let's have a look at the 4. Downtrending on the 4. So what I want to see here with near is it's getting very heavy on these lower time frames, I guess. Potentially you could see this price just drop. So if price started to cycle on the 15, I want to know about it on near, because it is trending on the 4 and we have beautiful downtrends all the way through to the daily. So I do want to know about that. And then finally, wood. Now this was in last week. There was some good cradle zone trades off this contract. Again, really nice cyclicity to the downside. We look here on the 8. It's just starting to cycle again in proportion to this cradle zone. That is a bullish candle there, so it's not bearish. And not really the cleanest of pullbacks here, but if these moving averages caught up in price and we did get a bearish candle in here off 75 cents, I want to know about it. Yeah, 100%. And also, if price started cycling on these 15s and 30-minute time frames, on these lower time frames to the downside, I want to know about it as well, because we have this beautiful cyclicity right through. Okay, everybody. So that's the Bybit scam for tonight. So a mixed bag. We have price pulling into we have a lot of weekly uptrends still intact on the top 10, as we can see with the price dipping in and out of the cradle zone. And we also have some lower time frame options to the upside on Soulmatic, and also some possible downside options on the rest of the contracts. If we can see price pulling into some levels or price starting to cycle to the downside in lower time frames, we have some options there. So I hope you're all well. As always, keep your risk dialed down and take care and have a fabulous week. Start of a new week. Thanks, everyone.